If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it and it's free. And if you're looking for code cards, make sure you check out Poton Store. They have automatic email delivery and all the latest Pokemon TCG codes, and you can use Tablemon code for 5% off. If you're from Europe, mealybotsgaming.com is a great option to get your cards from. They have all sorts of sealed products, merchandise, and all the sets available from Pokemon Sun and Moon upwards, including the latest Hidden Fate set. Don't forget to use Tablemon code when checking out to get a further 5% off from your final purchase. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to Tier World 2020, where we are going to be interrupting our Cosmic Eclipse coverage for just one day, and we are going to be taking a look at the top 4 decks from this last Richmond Regionals, which took place just last weekend. If you missed out on the action, I did make a highlights video that you can check out over on the channel. It has a big regional highlights thumbnail in case you want to give it a try. I might leave a link in the description down below if I remember. But yeah, if you're going to Portland, then these 4 decks are definitely something for you to watch out for at the tournament, because Richmond was the first regional where we had that had expanded include Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds, and Hidden Fates, and of course the future banned cards, right? So this video is basically only valid for this weekend, because afterwards some of the cards get banned, such as Marshadow, and therefore, I mean, the structure of the whole deck won't change if you don't have Marshadow, but Marshadow plus Power Plant is a pretty powerful combo, so we're all glad that that is leaving. Sorry, that's my dog having a sneeze in the background. But anyways, so this tournament just took place. It's the first expanded tournament with those 3 brand new sets, and then the week after, so this weekend, we have Portland Regionals with the same format, and therefore this tournament should really influence what, at the very least, not necessarily your deck choice if you've been preparing for a while for the tournament, but definitely the decks that you test against. The top 4 decks at a regionals always have a big impact at the next event, and of course this Rowlett and Executor GX deck should be a very prominent threat at the upcoming tournament. Has 270 HP, and then the attack Super Growth allows you to search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your grass Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it. If that Pokemon is now a Stage 1 Pokemon, you can search your deck for a Stage 2 Pokemon that evolves from that Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it as well. Now, the great part about this is that if you're going second, or whenever you bench that Pokemon, you can then immediately evolve it. And we have, of course, the combination of Vileplume, where we have Irritating Pollen, where neither player can play item cards from his or her hand. And that's really good because we only have 5 item cards total in this deck. And we also have the Disgusting Pollen ability, where as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's basic Pokemon can't attack. And it's no surprise that the decks that succeeded in expanded along with this one included some sort of evolution, be it Weavile GX, Aromatisse, or good old Zoroark GX, the big ugly face of the expanded format. But this Vileplume was, I'm sure, a great counter to a lot of the metagame, especially non-Weavile, Turbo Dark decks, and Archie's Blastoise, and just a bunch of things. Now, Rowlett and Executor can attack as well with Calming Hurricane. It does 150 damage and you heal 30 damage from this Pokemon, so your opponent will already be struggling to set up thanks to the item lock, and then whatever attacker they manage to come up with and whatever damage they deal, you'll be able to heal off some of it whilst applying a lot of pressure by dealing 150 damage. And in very rare instances, you might be able to use Tropical Hour GX for 200 damage, and if you have at least 3 extra energy attached to this Pokemon, then your opponent shovels all energy from all of their Pokemon into their deck. So a really cool attack, probably not easy to pull off since we only have 8 energy total, and you probably want to power up at least 2 of these guys at some point in the game. But that's a really good combination, and you don't necessarily have to win by prices. You can also win by denying resources with Faba, denying item cards, rather denying damage. And you can also trap something in the active spot with Guzma. And we have a 1/1 Pidgeotto line, very interesting inclusion. You can search for it with Pokemon Fan Club or Bridget. There's no way to search for the Pidgeotto, you just have to hope you'll draw into it at some point. Well, I guess we do have Steven's Resolve, never mind to directly search for any cards. It does accelerate your deck a little bit, it gives you access to extra resources, so it's a really nice inclusion, and much better than Zoroark in this deck because of Power Plant. That would shut off your own Zoroark. And then we also have the Shuckle GX with the ability Protective Shell, where all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have 2 or fewer energy attached to them is prevented. And we have a very simple triple poison attack, which with the item lock is incredibly powerful, and especially the Wrap GX attack dealing 40 damage and auto paralysis is also particularly good. So in the final, we saw how a turn 1 Let Loose plus a turn 2 Super Growth sometimes is enough, combined with the item lock, to just close out games based on the fact that Expanded is a very item reliant or item heavy format because there's so many broken items such as Bile Compressor, and that's why this deck really succeeded and did well. It seems like this deck could have trouble against fire, which differently than standard format did not show up at all in this weekend, so it might be something to consider for Portland. But overall, the deck is definitely pretty powerful, pretty easy to set up with the 6 cards that search for basic Pokemon, and the Rowlett and Executor that just immediately gets your stage 2s out. Now next up, the other finalist deck was this very greedy Turbo Dark, as the creator of the deck did. It's not super different from the list that have been out, but the inclusion of the 1/1 Weavile line definitely helped a ton. It not only helps against control decks because you have the Shadow Connection ability to move energy as often as you like between your Dark type Pokemon, giving you access to Free Retreat, giving you access to energy conservation from something that might be about to die, and you want to make sure the energy stays in play. But most importantly, it gave you an attacker that immediately 1 KOs that pesky Vileplume that doesn't allow basic Pokemon to attack. If you don't have Weavile, then they get out that Vileplume, and as long as there's no 6 prizes on board for you to pick off, then they immediately win, right? At some point, they will immediately outrun you with damage. But with Weavile, the tables turn, and it's basically a good matchup as long as you stabilize from the item lock, which won't always be easy. Now, of course, our big attacker is Zoroark Greninja with the Dark Pulse, dealing 30 damage plus 30 more damage times the amount of dark energy attached to all of your Pokemon. You have Marshadow GX to hit for weakness on fighting weak Pokemon, so potentially in the mirror match. And against Zoroark, and it can copy Zoroark Greninja or any of the other Darkrai's, which is really good. Basic Pokemon. And then we have the Dene and Shaman for draw. We have Oranguru to have a way to protect ourselves from those turn 1 complete hand locks that utilize Honchkrow GX. And finally we have the Mew, which can copy Zoroark Greninja, can copy Dead End, but it's a non-GX attacker. So we have the wide variety. We have an evolution, we have a powerful GX attacker, a powerful GX attacker, a very powerful GX attack with Dead End, which immediately one kills anything, and we even have a non-GX attacker and a tag team. So a lot of variety, a lot of acceleration between Compressor, the Sycamores, the VS Seekers, the Max Elixirs, the Dark Patches, the Trainer's Mail, and even the Skyfields to be able to bench a bunch of stuff and utilize many Shamans per turn. So pretty powerful deck overall, and it's no surprise that it got all the way to the final. Now, next up, we have third place Zoro Control by number 1 rated player in the world, Grant Manley. He's been using these sort of decks in Standard and now in Expanded, which I'm sure he enjoyed more because you just have so many more options to do so. It is basically Expanded PG or maybe PG's Standard Zoroark. But overall, we have Oranguru's Resource Management to put back all the resources you want in order to keep denying your opponent's hand. You have Zoroark's trade ability to draw extra cards, put them into your hand, get those resources to deny your opponent's strategy. You have Girafarig to even remove resources from play from your opponent, which is really good. You have Sudowoodo to limit their bench, and then you have Lele and the Dene for consistency purposes, along with a Marshadow to target down pesky power plants that might stop your trades. And of course, we have Articuno's Legendary Ascent and Cold Crush GX to completely deny something of energy. Now, in terms of disruption, we have Ace Trainer, we have Trick Shovel to attack the top deck, we have Chip Ice Axe to attack the top deck as well, or to control it rather. We have Enhanced Hammer for special energies, Counter Catcher to make sure that we trap something in the active. Whilst we Resource Management, we have Mars to attack the hand, Lieutenant Surge to go double Mars even. We have Reset Stamp to go with that as well. We have Hiker as well. In case we're item locked, we can still get the Chip effect as well. We have Faba to deny even further the special energies or tools or stadiums. And we even have Plumeria. So a really cool deck, really cool concept, and definitely something to watch out for in this upcoming regional. Finally, we have a not so surprising deck. Guardian has been a pretty powerful Pokemon in Standard, and now it's doing the same in Expanded. The Fairy Song accelerates a bunch of energy, which is really awesome. Kaleidostorm allows you to move those energy, and then Magical Miracle is a very nice way to deny opponents' hands, and when you combine that with Power Plant or Silent Lab, then you're denying basically all the ways that your opponent could potentially recover from, such as Orangurus, ability to draw up to 3 cards, Let Loose Marshadow, Dedene's Dead Exchange, Tapu Lele's Wonder Tag, and with Power Plant you also deny Zoroark's trade abilities. So pretty much all the ways that, or all the Pokemon ability draw you get to deny. And then with Aromatisse you get to transfer the energy around much easier than with the Kaleidostorm, as you can do it during your turn rather than after your turn is basically over. And it's also an evolution which can get past the Vileplume, although its damage output is nothing special, so probably not enough, and you might want to consider either a different Aromatisse, one that hits a little harder, or a different evolution for this deck, though space is of course an issue. And we have with the combination with Max Potion and the Fairy Transfer, just makes Gardevoir a really tough Pokemon to take down, especially combined with the Fighting Fury belts, giving it 40 extra HP, bringing it to 300 total, and a Cerulus and a Seeds as well, being able to heal with the 4 VS Seeker. So you technically have 11 damage resets, so this deck suffers against decks that can continually 1-KO it, but if you're not 1-KOing the Gardevoir, then you're gonna have a very, very hard time. This reminds me of the Mewtwo Mega Gardevoir deck, except this one is more straightforward and has the ability to deny abilities rather than 100% rely on them, and therefore flop against something that stops abilities from your Pokemon. So really cool deck, really cool combination of decks, and you also have even special effects protection thanks to Wonder Energy, so you can't get attacked by something like Raticate, or you can't be Cold Crushed. So this deck has all the tools to combat potential item lock, because it plays a very healthy amount of supporters. It can deal with every deck that is not 1-KOing it, because it has so much healing. The big 1-KO deck that showed up is Dark Turbo Dark, which we do have resistance to, so them hitting for 330 damage is not exactly easy. That's 11 out of the 12 energy they even play, and we even have the Power Plants and the Silent Lab to further deny and make it hard for them to get energy into play. So really cool top 4 combination of decks. I would definitely be very careful and very make sure my deck can handle at least 2 or 3 of these 4 decks before committing to something. I would expect Zoroark Control to be the least popular of all the variants, because it's the hardest deck to play out of all of them. It's the least straightforward, and it's the most volatile as well, where if you don't stabilize quick enough, then your opponent might just run over with the game, and it is susceptible to the item lock and to the ability lock as well. So if you're preparing for Portland, hopefully this was a useful video for you. As I mentioned, I did make a highlights video that I'll be linking here down below in case you want to watch that. I definitely recommend it. I put in a lot of effort to it, and some people think, oh, it's just getting the footage and placing it, but it's actually more technical than that. But anyways, I won't get into that. I hope you enjoy it, and best of luck if you're going to Portland. I will not be going to Portland, but I will be going to Brazil in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.